Late Mohbad made a viral video where he alleged that whenever he dies, they should look in his own in the direction of Naira Marley and some others. And he said, after making the video, Late Mohbad subsequently apologized that his father and his mother and some other people later apologized. Responding to a question why he thought Late Mohbad would then say, if I die, go and hold the Naira Marley responsible. He then replied that it may be as a result of the fact that Late Mohbad was having some problems. That's why he made that kind of allegation. That maybe he has some psychological problem or he was intoxicated. That's why he made that kind of allegation. So in summary, even though he admitted that Late Mohbad made some video accusing him that if he dies, they should look in his direction, he denied having a hand in the death of Mohbad.
ẹ̀ ń sọ nínú kóòtù pé ó sọ pé tóun bá kú kìnnìkan kọ́ mú Naira Marley. This same person lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó sọ yẹn ó tún ti sọ nǹkan míì pé tóun bá kú kọ́ mú ìyàwó òun. Kí ló dé tí wọn ò béèrè bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú court?
Kilarigbo TV.
My name is Dr. Wahab Shitu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria.
All right, sir. Can you tell us what actually happened?
Well, I will try to be fair to all concerned by reporting accurately what I thought happened today. The first witness that testified today was Naira Marley. He confirmed that he signed Late Mohbad on his Malian record label. And according to him, he signed him on to produce 4 albums. But eventually, the 4 albums were not produced before he left. Because according to him, Late Mohbad had disagreement with his manager, who happens to be his cousin. He also denied that he never threatened or molested the late Mohbad. He said he has been exonerated by the police, that the allegations that he molested him were just in people's imagination. He denied all allegations, but he confirmed that at a time, Late Mohbad made a viral video where he alleged that whenever he dies, they should look in the direction of Naira Marley and some others. And he said, after making the video, Late Mohbad subsequently apologized that his father and his mother and some other people later apologized. Responding to a question why he thought Late Mohbad would then say, if I die, go and hold the Naira Marley responsible. He then replied that it may be as a result of the fact that Late Mohbad was having some problems. That's why he made that kind of allegation, that maybe he has some psychological problem or he was intoxicated. That's why he made that kind of allegation. So in summary, even though he admitted that Late Mohbad made some video accusing him that if he dies, they should look in his direction, he denied having a hand in the death of Mohbad. He also said there was no dispute between him and the late Mohbad, and they had no disagreement. And finally ended by saying that the last time he saw Mohbad was a year before his death. That he was not around 24 hours or 48 hours before his death. So that was his evidence today, the summary of his evidence. The second person who testified today, the lawyer to Mohbad, Mr. Falade, who confirmed that there was a dispute between Malian Records, the label of Naira Marley, and the record label of Naira Marley and the late Mohbad over royalties. He said there was a dispute and that the lawyer said he wrote repeatedly to Malian Records on the royalties, but he never got any response. And that the issue of the royalties is already a subject of litigation before the Federal High Court. In his own view, it was not correct. Naira was not correct to say there was no dispute between him and late Mohbad. So that is the evidence today. What one can say about the evidence today is that at least we are now beginning to see clearly that all was not well between late Mohbad and Naira Marley's record label before he died. We do not have evidence to know, to prove whether in physical terms, whether Naira Marley had a hand, directly or indirectly, in the death of late Mohbad. But you know, in a corona inquest of this nature, what is important is to look at the sequence of events that eventually led to the death of the deceased. It's an investigative process designed to know the cause of death and the circumstances surrounding the death. But again, it became clear that we should also look into the direction of those who were with the late Mohbad before he died. All of the witnesses mentioned that, Naira Marley mentioned that, and even the lawyer to late Mohbad also mentioned that we should look at all the people who were with late Mohbad in order to find out actually what caused his death. And who were the people who were with him 24 hours and 48 hours before he died. I leave that to your conjecture. I don't want to speculate. I'm not the coroner. I cannot arrive at any finding. But what I've just tried to do is to give you an overview of what happened to them.
So when next
Well, it is the coroner has not been further adjourned to 11th of April, where Sam Larry, again, the lawyer to late Mohbad confirmed that late Mohbad was attacked at the Lekki beach by Sam Larry, and that he advised late Mohbad to lodge a report at the force headquarters. And a report was actually lodged by late Mohbad at the force headquarters. And he also went further to say that he was aware that the police twice attempted to arrest unsuccessfully Sam Larry. So we now know that we need to bring Sam Larry here to come and also state his own position. We also need to bring the two doctors. There were two hospitals that attended to late Mohbad before he died. The doctor in the first hospital, we have made application that it should be brought. This doctor in the second hospital, we have also made application that it should be brought so that they can tell us the state the late Mohbad was at the time they were brought to their facility. Of course, you know there's also an independent autopsy carried out. Now, the result of that independent autopsy is out. The pathologist who conducted the autopsy is ready to come to court. So the court has directed that a copy of the autopsy report should be forwarded to the chief coroner, while copies should also be forwarded to the court before the 11th of April. And the court also expressed concern about the address of the driver to late Mohbad, and that we should try to get his address before witness summons can be issued. So, in summary, 4 critical witnesses are about to be summoned. I mean, doctors in the 2 hospitals, the pathologists who conducted the independent autopsy, and of course the driver to late Mohbad. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
My name is Sami Jojo. Kí n sọ nípa ti tèmi, ojú tèmi fi rí, mo rí pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lénìí wọ́n kàn fẹ́ dá wa padà sí nǹkan tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ sátẹ̀yìnwá ni. Nítorí pé kí ni ẹni tí wọ́n ń béèrè ìbéèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ lénìí kò sí ní vicinity ibi tí nǹkan ti ṣẹlẹ̀, kò sí ní agbègbè tí nǹkan ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Láàárín ká sọ pé ọjọ́ méjì, ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, ọ̀sẹ̀ kan kò sí ní around the surrounding yẹn. And ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ bí gbogbo wa la gbọ́ pé ó ṣèṣe ṣóò tó lọ sọpọ́n ṣóò tó lọ Naira Marley ò sí ní ṣóò yẹn, kò sí nínú mọ́tò, kò bá wọn délé, kò mọ nǹkan kan nípa ìgbésí ayé Mohbad tó kú. So ó kàn yà mí lẹ́nu nígbà tí mo rí gbogbo wọn lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn, àwọn ìbéèrè tó ń béèrè bíi pé wọ́n fẹ́ dá wa padà sí ẹ̀yìn ni. And to me, ṣé màá sọ pé ojú gbà mí ti fún gbogbo question tó ń béèrè, because tí n bá jẹ́ lọ́ọ̀yà, question tí n bá béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn ni pé Naira Marley ṣé o mọ nọ́ọ̀sì tó wá gún abẹ́rẹ́? Naira Marley ṣé o mọ prime boy? Because gbogbo ibi tá ti kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ látẹ̀yìn nìyẹn. But àwọn tó jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò, tó jẹ́ lọ́ọ̀yà, tó jẹ́ counsel, wọn ò lè béèrè àwọn ìbéèrè yẹn. Nǹkan tèmi dẹ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé definitely ẹ ní ibi tẹ́ ń padà sí. Tẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ pé royalty ẹ̀ ní ìgbà tí Mohbad wà lọ́dọ̀ Naira Marley ó ní royalty. Gbọ̀ngbà tó kúrò ó ṣà release orin, gbogbo owó orin tó pa yẹn ṣọwọ́ Naira Marley ló ṣì wà ní. And àwọn tó jẹ́ adájọ́ tó ń jẹ́ judge, àwọn lawyers, questions báyìí ló yẹ kán béèrè. Tá a bá wò pókè bọ̀bọ̀ tó kù yìí wọ́n lè pa nítorí owó tó fi páǹsì, ṣé torí owó ti Naira Marley nìkan ni àbí orin tó ṣe, because ó ti ní ábọ̀mù títí ẹ̀, ó ti dá record label ẹ̀ sílẹ̀. So why tí wọ́n ṣe máa béèrè àwọn critical questions? Kí ló dé tó fẹ́ dá wa padà sí 2 years or 3 years ago now? Incident tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀, èmi ò support Naira Marley, mi rẹ̀ jẹ́ agbẹnusọ fún, but nǹkan tí mo kàn ń sọ ni pé ká lo common sense ká fi béèrè àwọn ìbéèrè kankan. Ìgbà wo ni Mohbad kú? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí? Ẹ̀ ń sọ nínú kóòtù pé ó sọ pé tóun bá kú kìnnìkan kọ́ mú Naira Marley. This same person lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó sọ yẹn ó tún ti sọ nǹkan míì pé tóun bá kú kọ́ mú ìyàwó òun. Kí ló dé tí wọ́n béèrè bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú court? Kí ló dé tí wọ́n ṣe dá question yẹn padà tí ò sẹ́yìn kankan tó máa object even Naira Marley's lawyer to go back to what Mohbad said was when he was with Naira Marley. What nǹkan tó wá sọ nísìnyí ilé ìtagbá padà gbọ́ tá à ń gbọ́ káàkiri ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì wà pẹ̀lú Naira Marley ni, but they were just doing, I don't know the kind of questions, but I'm not going to condemn whatever they have done, but to me, I am totally disappointed in their questions. It's as easy and simple as that. But I just want to indulge them, not to take us back, because the nurse was here last week, and whatever the nurse had said was contrary to what Adura, what DJ Bami, what Wumi had said. Why are these lawyers not looking at their CCT to counter themselves, counter these people? Nígbà tí nọ́ọ̀sì dé, nọ́ọ̀sì lòun mọ ẹ̀kan péré lòun rí Àdúrà. Nígbà tí Àdúrà máa wá, Àdúrà sọ pé òun àti nọ́ọ̀sì lọ́wọ́ jọ wà ń bẹ̀, ojú òun ló ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́ fi gun lábẹ́rẹ́. And these are lawyers, I believe they are more intelligent than we are. Wọ́n ní làákàyè jù wá lọ. Kí ló dé tí wọ́n rò pé wá nǹkan tó sọ lélẹ̀ padà sí CCT gbàtàdúrà wá nǹkan báyìí làdúrà sọ nípa ẹ̀, no interrogation, they just had to, wọ́n kàn gba gbogbo nǹkan tí nọ́ọ̀sì sọ ni. Ta ló wá ń parọ́ nínú gbogbo wọn? Ṣé nọ́ọ̀sì ló ń parọ́? Ṣé Àdúrà ló ń parọ́? Ṣé Wùmí ló ń parọ́? Ṣé DJ Bami ló ń parọ́? These are the questions that èmi fẹ́ kí kóòtù kó bá wa béèrè, tọ́wọn lọ́ọ̀yà ò lè bá wa béèrè, tọ́ba lè béèrè. Bóyá kí the honourable judge should please help us ask, kó bá wa béèrè ìbéèrè yẹn. Ta ni ẹni tó ń parọ́ nínú wọn? Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ bẹ̀ wọ́n kán jọ̀ọ́ kán má dá wa padà sí ẹ̀yìn. We are not here to exonerate Naira Marley. All we want is facts. Ihun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan la fẹ́ gbọ́. So what I just want is this for the public and for people supporting justice to come together and ask this question. That night that he died, what happened? Who and who were there? Kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ rí? Naira Marley was never there. Kan gbogbo àwọn tó wà níbẹ̀ ní scene of incident yẹn, bó jẹ́ ìyá ni, bó jẹ́ bàbá ni, bó jẹ́ mọ̀lẹ́bí ni, bó jẹ́ ará ilé ni, àbọ̀wọ̀n ẹbí ẹ̀, àbọ̀wọ̀n crew ẹ̀, let them re-invite all of them, because gbogbo wọn tó ń sọ tó dárúkọ yìí náà tí Naira Marley sọ yìí sì gbogbo wọn náà ló wọ́n ní ìkọ̀kan tí wọ́n ti sọ tí ó dẹ̀ ti yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tó ti ń sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. So I support the court to re-invite all of them, and they should use, because another thing tí wọ́n suspect lélẹ̀, these people wọn kì í rántí nǹkan gbogbo àwọn tó wà nínú ilé yẹn pátápátá nǹkan tó nínú statement wọ́n yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tó kọ sínú CCT. That is why if you ask them question wọ́n rántí. So if you re-invite them now, ohun tó máa sọ nísìnyí máa yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tó ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀, á yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tó ti sọ sínú CCT, then with the court or the investigation will proceed. A máa mọ ẹni tó ń pa irọ́, a máa mọ tí nǹkan ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀. Opinion mi lélẹ̀ nítorí pé Naira Marley ò sí ní ibi tí nǹkan ti ṣẹlẹ̀, so kò sí tó bá wà níbí báyìí náà tó ṣe ń dá wọn lóhùn yẹn náà ló ṣe máa dá wọn lóhùn. Kò sí ìbéèrè tó máa jaláyà, because whatever they had asked via online, if they had asked him one-on-one, this is the same thing he will say. There was never an incriminating or a question that would make him tó máa jẹ́ kẹ́rù bá pé mi ì mọ nǹkan tí máa sọ, because nǹkan tó ń dúró lé lórí táwa náà dẹ̀ máa dúró lé lórí ni pé kò sí níbẹ̀. Ẹ lọ wo stance gbogbo wọn tó wà níbẹ̀ nígbà tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀, ẹ wo tó ṣe ń react, ẹ wo tẹ́sí ṣe ń ba ẹ̀mí inú wọn. Wọ́n á béèrè question lọ́wọ́ mi, á take time, á máa sọ á máa sọ bí àwa fúnra wa tá à ń gbọ́ la mọ̀ pé nǹkan tẹ́lẹ̀ yìí sọ irọ́ wà níbẹ̀. And kí ló dẹ̀ ń bá àwọn lẹ́rù ni pé gbogbo wọn ló wà níbẹ̀. Àwọn tó wà nínú mọ́tò nígbà tó ń gbé lọ, ìmí sọ pé ó ti kú, nǹkan sọ pé òun ò mọ̀. Ṣé tó bá béèrè Naira Marley pé ṣó wà nínú mọ́tò, ṣó wà nínú mọ́tò ni? Ṣé ó mọ hospital yẹn, ṣó bá wọn débẹ̀? Ìgbà tó fẹ́ lọ sí, ṣó tẹ̀lé wọn débẹ̀? So if he was there, tó bá wà níbí báyìí náà lì, tó bá wà ihun tó dáhùn yẹn náà ló máa dáhùn, kò sí ìyàtọ̀ kankan. And ṣé èní yìí ṣé success ni? It was not a success. Today was total failure to me, my opinion.
Kilarigbo TV, ìkànnì amúlùdún àkọ́kọ́ tó ń gbé àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Yorùbá lárugẹ.